Oh, Rotten Tomatoes. How I loathe you. Welcome back to Sporking News Podcast. My name is Scott. If you like what you hear, sub, don't sub, whatever. But I wanted to talk about this Rotten Tomatoes article on The Witcher Season 1, which I really thought was an awesome show. I love that it was set up as a binge show. Now, usually I like an episodic where it's one a week, but with this show, I felt like it needed this first season to have them all at once because a couple episodes are a little slower. I don't consider them filler. They are more of world and character building episodes. But if I didn't have it, like if I had to wait 3 weeks to get to the next one that I thought was really, really good, I think I might have kind of stepped back from this show. So if you only watched one episode and then skipped ahead, or watched a half episode and then skipped and then wrote a review, yeah, you might not get this series. But from start to finish, this series is amazing. I'm going to do a reaction review video, and then I'm going to do episode videos, hopefully to keep this show alive, because we don't know when we'll see it next. But the character Yennefer is, whoever plays her, I forget her name. I think she's down here somewhere. She is amazing, amazing. And yeah, they only have they have guys first. Wow, what a sexist thing to do, huh? Bastards. But whoever played Yennefer, she's amazing. Okay, she played her role fantastic. I don't want to spoil it, but I really like, that was the character I wanted to follow. Henry Cavill's character, awesome. He plays it really well. He plays that brooding type very well. I mean, he's a brooding Superman. But the guy who plays the bard that goes along with him, really, it's a good, like, good cop, bad cop, quiet, loud guy. You know, like, you ever see those cartoons where the big bulldog and has the little chihuahua jumping around? Where are we going, George? Where are we going? That's kind of like it was. It was perfect. The girl who plays Suri, the actress, fantastic actress. I mean, everyone really put it into this show. They did not mail it in. The queen was amazing. Like, it is a very cool show. But if you didn't watch the whole season, you wouldn't have realized what they were doing with the different scenes, how they were filming different things. It's hard not to spoil it, so I'm not going to do that. But please, if you're going to watch the show, watch it start to finish. Watch the whole thing. Even the beginning, the emblem they show at the beginning of each episode, how it ends in the last episode, is just really cool what they do. So please check it out. Now, 52 critics on Rotten Tomatoes only scored this at an average of 56%. Compare that to the 93% of audience score, which 8,500, a little bit more than 8,500 people checked out. So again, Rotten Tomatoes, there is a disconnect. But when your company is owned by a large corporation, this and pretty much all the ads on this are from other movie places, other television shows. Your corporate overlords are going to probably bend your will, and you're going to fix a few things, maybe hypothetically. Hypothetically and speculatively thinking, if I said that right, like on, I don't know, Rise of Skywalker, where the audience rate was 86% the day of release. Now, that was when I first saw it, it was about 1,500 people that saw that. 86%. Okay. They're like up into the tens of thousands, and it has not moved from 86%. That is statistically impossible not to move ever. It hasn't moved a bit. It didn't go up and then back down and then hit 86%. It literally stayed at 86%. Like, they think we're dumb, or they think we're numb enough that we don't realize that. But there are people, I don't know, a little group, hashtag, that might, watch these things. We keep an eye on these things because you need to be honest with us. We are your consumer. Rotten Tomatoes is getting close to being one of those. It is a joke already. To me, I think it's a joke, but it's going to be destroyed. They're destroying their company. They had a great idea when they started, but once the corporation got involved, once the bigger ups got involved, now this is marketing. This is all it is for the larger corporations. It's dumb. So we jump back to this. Let's just take a couple of the top critics and see what they said. And let's see if I can find any of them, because we're going to take a look at a couple of the top reviews. All right. So the first one is from Judy Berman. I'm not going to open them up. I'm just going to read what they put. She's from Time Magazine. Big deal, Judy. All of the exposition would make for a tough to-do list under the best circumstances, but The Witcher heightens out our The Witcher heightens our confusion by fumbling details that would have helped it set cohesive tone. I'm guessing she's saying. And you know what? Judy might have a point. It did have some moments where I was a little bit lost, but guess what? I paid attention, Judy, and then I followed what they were trying to say, and I understood where they were going. Catherine Van Ardunk, New York Magazine, Vulture. At the end of each episode, I absolutely did not stand up, scream, "What the hell was that?" and then tell everyone within earshot what I just seen. Okay, well, I guess you didn't like it. Fine. Let's see some people who did. Melanie McFarland, salon.com. Is it sales pitch of Destiny and Chaos Basic pondering to people who miss a certain HBO drama with dragons? Question mark. Certainly. I don't agree, but whatever. It also happens to be an exciting and at times intoxicating and downright confusing good time. And she's right. It is confusing at times, but that's what they're going for. It wasn't until like episode 3 or 4 I understood what the heck was going on with different scenes. I'll just put it that way because I don't want to do spoilers. I really don't think they are pandering to Game of Thrones fans. Yes, it is a fantasy show, but where Game of Thrones had this much high fantasy, this show is about fantasy. And it's something that we've been missing, where it's not cheesy fantasy. Some of the special effects could have been better. Yes, maybe next year's budget, the next season, they'll get a better budget. But that did take me out a little bit. Certain creatures took me out, but the very first scene, what he's fighting, is awesome. And if you suspend your belief, which fantasy is, and just go into this world with them, it is amazing. It's drama. It's sexual. It's political. It's class wars. It's sexual. Men versus women. I mean, it's everything that I usually don't want in a show done right. So it is not an agenda. It is not like a woke version of it. What it is it takes these ideas of men and women being in different classes and different species being different classes, and puts it together in a cohesive, at times confusing storyline, which I found to be fantastic. Let's check somebody else out. Scott Meslow, and he's also New York Magazine Vulture. Given the complexity of the Witcher's world, it's probably for the best that the show's actually introduction is so simple. And I agree. I think they needed to be a little simple with the beginning of this, because there are so many different creatures and monsters and species, and you find out how Witchers are made and this and that. But the very first episode, confusing at moments when you start seeing other episodes, but once you figure out what they're doing, and that's why I think this binge for this show was smart, because you need to binge a few episodes to figure out what they're doing with the timeline and things like that. Let's see what Kristen Baldwin had to say, and she's from Entertainment and Weekly. So yes, this is some high school level Dungeons and Dragons role playing with a multi-million-dollar budget. Go girl. Original score is an F. Wow. F for fantasy or for fun, maybe? I don't agree with you, Kristen. I think this was fantastic. Brian Lowry, CNN. CNN, we know how they feel about us. Henry Cavill plays the title role in The Witcher, but giving a pulse for the dreary medieval fantasy series is too much of a job for even Superman. Look what you did there, Brian. Oh, how you wove that together, you moron. Look, he is supposed to be a brooding, standoffish casting or character. That's what he plays it as. He has other characters around him that bring out more. The Maestro is probably next to Yennefer. The Maestro is my favorite character. He is hilarious. He brings something out of The Witcher. It's like the good cop, bad cop, maybe not good cop, bad cop, but the straight man, funny man type thing. It works great. And I think Henry Cavill did an excellent job and he respects his fans. So that goes a long way with this guy. Uh, Brandon Katz didn't like it. He said, who was that character? Which group do they belong to again? What timeline are we in? The whirlwind of scarily explained backstory turns you into your hopeless, lost parents who just can't seem to figure out how to the DVR criminal minds. Oh, you're so adorable, Brandon. Look, yes, it's confusing at times. They made it that way. Yes, timelines. You don't know what's going on at first. But if you actually sat down and watched this show and binged it, I binged it in 2 days. I found it to be cohesive enough where I started understanding. And once I understood the timeline, the show was amazing. Amazing. Um, it's vibrant. They do explain the characters. They may not explain them right away. You kind of don't understand who is who until they give you the backstory. So if you watch the whole thing, Brandon, you would realize that. And that's where I'm going to leave it off. Please check it out. Rotten Tomatoes. I got a little one screaming upstairs, so I'm going to go up there and see how she's doing. Please check out The Witcher season 1. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know when you see the first episode and then when you see the last, and tell me how your views may have changed or if they didn't. And remember, if they're calling you names, they've already lost the war. Brandon. Peace out, everybody. Have a great day.